So this is one of my favorite techniques to calm your body and mind, especially if you're feeling panicked. And you can use this on yourself, you can use this with others, but it really is a powerful thing to utilize. My name is Deborah Cobb, and I am a massage therapist and craniosacral therapist, as well as an integrative health practitioner. And this technique is actually something that I used when I was in my training for craniosacral therapy, because as we're doing that kind of work, even though it's very light touch, you can end up processing through some difficult emotions because we store our emotions in our body. And so as you're working with a client, sometimes it can pull up some difficult things. And so this was one of the techniques that we were taught to use to help someone bring them down, get them back into their bodies, and really calm their nervous system. And you need to do a little bit of legwork before you do this technique so that you already have an idea in your head to use for when this comes up. Because if you're in the midst of a panic and you try and do this, then it's going to be hard to think of anything. So you want to do this when you're already in a calm state, and I want to walk you through the steps. So first of all, this technique is tied to memory, to a time when you felt, and honestly, this can even be an imagined thing, but you felt in your body good, safe, powerful, or loved. Now, when I first learned this technique, I thought it had to be this big, huge, epic moment that created this feeling inside of me. And it doesn't need to be all four of those things. It can be just one. It could be just good, or just safe, or just powerful, or just loved. If it's a combination of those, that's totally okay, but you really only need one. But it doesn't need to be this huge, powerful thing. It could be as simple as, I remember this one time I took a bath and the water just felt so good, and I felt incredibly calm, and I just felt good. That's enough. It doesn't have to be anything profound. It could be maybe there's a spot that you love to go and walk in the woods, and you just feel so good every time you're there. Maybe it's a memory of a vacation where you were on the beach because I feel like it's hard to be stressed on the beach. And your toes were in the sand and the sun is shining on your skin and your body just felt really great. For me, another one actually was my dog. Every morning when she gets up, I've got a big dog, big 80-pound pit bull, and she makes me feel very safe. She's a big, gentle giant, but she does make me feel safe because I know that she would protect me if anyone ever tried to harm me. But every morning she wakes up and I give her scratches, and she presses her head, her giant head, into my chest. And that feeling every morning just makes me feel really good and really safe. So it can be simple things like that. The one caveat is it's not always good to choose a person, because we often have a lot of different feelings about people. Or maybe if it's a spouse that you choose because you do generally feel very safe with your spouse. But what if you're in a fight? What if you're in a disagreement? What if they're not your favorite person right now? Then it might not work in that moment to use them. Especially if it's something like being loved or feeling safe or feeling good. Something like feeling powerful could be maybe there was a time that you ran a marathon, or you did a race, or you hiked up a mountain, or you did something that made you feel really strong and really powerful. And maybe that's what you are connecting to. So no matter what it is, whatever the memory is that comes up for you, and now would be a good time to pause this video and try to come up with a few different things. Remember, it does not need to be profound, does not need to be anything major, just a time that you felt one of those things: good, safe, powerful, or loved. But the caveat is you have to be able to connect to how that felt in your body. So if it's a memory that was just something you saw, it's not going to be nearly as powerful, because you want to be able to connect to everything, every sensation that you have. You want to be able to connect to, can I remember how it smelled that day? Can I remember what I did see? Can I remember what I heard? Can I remember what it felt like on my skin, what it felt like on my body? You want to be able to feel what it felt like on your body. It takes a little bit of imagination, but that connection is really important for this technique to be effective. So go ahead and pause the video and see if you can come up with a few things. Okay, now that you have that memory, or even if it was something you had to imagine a time that you would feel that way, here's how you're going to use this technique. I want you to close your eyes, maybe lay down or get someplace comfortable, and I want you to picture yourself in that moment. And I want you to activate as many of your senses as you can. What did it smell like? What is it that you saw around you? What did you hear? And then more importantly, what did you feel? What sensations on your skin or on your body? If you were outside, could you feel the temperature of the air? If the sun is shining, can you feel the warmth of the sun on your skin? Really connect into what that felt like and try to recreate those sensations. And maybe you'll notice that you feel that sensation in some areas of your body more than others. So really connect into where you feel that. Maybe you feel it more in your chest. Maybe you feel it more in your hands. Or maybe in your legs. Really tune into the edges of that sensation. How big of an area can you connect to? Notice where the sensation isn't, and notice where it is. And while you stay connected to the visual, to any scent, to any sound, take that and see if you can't expand how much of your body can feel that. If you only feel it in your chest, see if you can't expand it to where that sensation starts to go down your arms. Or if you only feel it in your legs, see if you can't expand it so that sensation goes up your torso. And if you struggle to do that, that's okay. Go back to where you felt the sensation. And just spread the edges as much as you can. Start to notice how your body feels now. Is it closer to how it felt then? Are you noticing that your breath is slowing down? Your body is sinking into the ground a little bit more. Stay connected to that memory, that moment. Notice if any thoughts come up. If you have negative thoughts, just notice them. Let them bounce right off of you. Just do your best to connect with that sensation. You can spend as much time as you need to with this, allowing as much of your body to feel that feeling good, safe, powerful, or loved in every part of your body. Start to bring your awareness back to this moment right now. Maybe start to feel the temperature of the room you're in. Start to notice if your body is pressed up against anything. What are those points of contact for the floor, or if you're sitting in a chair? Maybe start to open your eyes and notice what you see in the room around you. And then bring your attention inward. How do you feel? Do you feel calmer? Do you feel more grounded? Hopefully that reminded your nervous system how to get into that deep parasympathetic state. You've done it before, you can do it again. This is a fantastic technique to use to teach your nervous system how to do this, even when you're in the midst of a panic, in the midst of anxiety, in the midst of being in that sympathetic state. This is a great thing to use to pull you out of that and back deeply into your parasympathetic nervous system. So I hope this was helpful. I'm so glad you are here. I'm so glad you are trying this. Keep at it. If this was difficult to do, keep trying. And if you had a hard time connecting into your body now with the memory, then go back and try something different. Try something that you can physically really connect to. And if you are in a place where you're thinking to yourself, I've never felt that way, that's okay. You can use something that is imaginary. Our brain is amazing, and we have the ability to visualize things so intensely that it feels real. What would be your ideal vacation? What would be your ideal location where you could feel just at peace, to feel really good? Would it be in the mountains? Would it be on the ocean? Would it be on a river? You've probably been inside of a body of water. What does that feel like? If you don't like body of water, imagine sitting on a log in the middle of the woods. Whatever it is, just try to visualize something that brings you peace. Even if you can't think of a specific memory, I know you're able to visualize and use that part of your brain in your imagination to think of something. Try that and see if that works. And if you are still having problems, let me know and I can walk you through a few other things. But I hope this was helpful today, and we'll see you in the next video.